Observe Human. Human owns a candle that smells like a forest after rain. A candle Human clearly likes and may have purchased specifically for the purpose of one day experiencing it. And yet, Human will not light it. Not today. Today contains laundry, emails, crumbs on the counter, and a strange feeling that something important has been forgotten. The candle is not for this. The candle is for a special occasion, a future occasion, a cleaner occasion, an occasion where Human is better dressed, emotionally stable, and living in a home with softer lighting. Until then, the candle must remain untouched. This is one of the stranger Human rituals. Human buys an object they like, want, and fully intend to use, then immediately protects that object from the terrible fate of being used for its intended purpose. The candle cannot burn. The expensive soap cannot become soap. The good shirt cannot touch the outside world. The nice notebook cannot be harmed by Human's actual handwriting. Each object has been promoted beyond function. It no longer belongs to daily life. It now belongs to a mythical future event known as Someday. Someday is very important to humans. Someday is when they will wear the nice outfit, use the fancy dishes, open the expensive bottle, and become the kind of person who casually lights candles without first inspecting the room for worthiness. There is no official date for Someday. No invitation has been sent. No calendar reminder exists. But Human believes it is coming. So the candle waits. From the outside, this seems inefficient. A candle that is never lit is just scented furniture. A shirt that is never worn is just fabric in a dark room. A notebook that is too nice to write in has somehow become less useful than a receipt, because at least the receipt is allowed to participate in life. But Human does not see these objects as simple objects. Human sees them as possibilities. The candle is not just wax, it is the promise of a better evening. The shirt is not just clothing, it is the promise of a better version of Human. The soap is not just soap, it is the promise that one day Human will become the type of person who uses expensive soap casually, perhaps while living in a bathroom that looks like it belongs to a hotel with a robe. This is where the behavior begins to make sense. Human is not always saving the object. Human is saving the feeling attached to the object. Before the candle is lit, it can still become the perfect evening. Before the shirt is worn, it can still become the perfect entrance. Before the notebook is written in, it can still become the beginning of a new personality. But the moment Human uses the object, reality gets involved. The candle gets smaller. The shirt gets wrinkled. The notebook receives the first sentence, and the first sentence is written by a tired mammal who may be holding the pen incorrectly. Suddenly, the perfect object has entered the imperfect world. This is dangerous, so Human preserves it. Untouched objects are powerful because they have not disappointed anyone yet. The candle has not burned too quickly. The shirt has not looked strange under grocery store lighting. The notebook has not revealed that Human's plan to become organized lasted 11 minutes. As long as the object remains unused, it remains full of potential. It can still become anything. This is why Human fears the first page of a nice notebook. Human can write on a napkin without hesitation, write on the back of an envelope with the confidence of a government official, and type unhinged thoughts into a phone at 1:13 in the morning. But place a beautiful notebook in front of Human, and suddenly the stakes become historic. The first page must justify the notebook. It must be neat, meaningful, and suggest that Human is now a person with systems, a person with goals, a person who tracks water intake, plans meals, remembers birthdays, and somehow understands where all the money went. This is an enormous burden for paper. So the notebook remains empty. It sits on a shelf beside several other notebooks that were also purchased during moments of personal optimism. Human has not failed these notebooks. Human is simply saving them for the correct version of Human. This is another important part of the ritual. Human is often not saving the object for today's self. Human is saving it for future human. Future human is very impressive. Future human wakes up early, has clear skin, clean floors, and a peaceful relationship with email. Future human invites people over. Future human serves food on actual plates instead of eating over the sink like a raccoon with responsibilities. Future human lights candles without needing to earn them. So when today's human reaches for the candle, today's human hesitates. This does not feel like the right human. This human is wearing the comfortable pants again, has 3 unread messages and 1 spoon in the bedroom for reasons that are no longer clear. This human does not deserve the candle. So the candle is saved for future human, who will apparently be arriving any day now. Humans do this because they are constantly negotiating with invisible versions of themselves. There is the current self, tired, distracted, and trying to survive the afternoon. Then there is the imagined self, elegant, prepared, and never eating shredded cheese directly from the bag. The special object belongs to the imagined self, not the person living the day, the person the day was supposed to become. This can be beautiful. It means humans are capable of hope. They can look at a small object and attach an entire life to it. A plate becomes stability. A perfume bottle becomes confidence. A pair of shoes becomes a doorway into a future where human arrives places calmly instead of sweating, late, and pretending traffic was the only reason. These objects become proof that a better version of life is possible. But there is a trap inside this hope. If the object belongs only to the future, then the present is quietly declared unworthy. Today is not allowed to smell like the candle. Dinner is not allowed to touch the good plate. The shower is not allowed to involve the expensive soap. Human must wait until life becomes cinematic enough. Unfortunately, life is not always good at announcing when the cinematic part has begun. Most days arrive in disguise. An alarm, a sink, a bill, a phone at 14%, a random pain in the shoulder, a shirt that was technically clean enough. If human waits for the perfect occasion, human may accidentally wait through the actual life. The special occasion becomes a moving target. When human is young, the good thing is saved for when human is older. When human is older, it is saved for when things calm down. When things calm down, it is saved for when guests come over. And when guests come over, it is saved for another time, because there are too many people and someone might spill something. And so the object survives, year after year, protected from use, protected from danger, protected from joy. There is also a deeper memory operating in many humans. Some humans learned early that good things were rare. New clothes were for school pictures. Fancy food was for holidays, and the good dishes were for visitors. The expensive items were not part of ordinary life. They were proof that the household could briefly transform into a more polished version of itself. When human grows up around scarcity, saving can feel responsible. Using can feel reckless. Pleasure can feel like poor planning. Even years later, when human can afford the candle, the old rule remains installed somewhere in the nervous system. Do not waste the good thing. There may not be another one. So human treats small luxuries like emergency supplies. They are not for today's sadness. They are for some future sadness that has earned them properly. This is why human will drink from the chipped mug every morning, while the beautiful mug waits untouched in the cupboard. The beautiful mug is for guests. The guest may never come. Or worse, the guest comes and asks for water. Still, the mug waits. Human also fears the moment after use. Before something is used, it is perfect. After it is used, it becomes part of the world. The candle loses height. The shirt gets washed and may never fit the same. The perfume bottle becomes slightly less full. The so special snack disappears in 7 bites, 5 of which were eaten while standing in the kitchen. This creates a small grief. Human wanted the thing. Human enjoyed the thing, but now there is less of the thing. Human avoids the grief by avoiding the pleasure. It is a very human solution. To avoid losing something, human never fully has it. This becomes even stronger when the object is connected to memory. A bottle from a trip, a sweater bought during a good year, a gift from someone who is no longer here. These objects become containers, not just for scent, taste, or fabric, but for time. Using them can feel like spending a memory. And human is careful with memory, because unlike candles, it cannot always be reordered online with 2-day shipping. So human preserves the object. It sits there as proof that the moment happened. The problem is that some objects are not designed to become museums. Candles are designed to burn. Clothes are designed to be worn. Soap is designed to disappear slowly while making humans smell less like panic. When these things are never used, they do not stay alive. They become monuments to hesitation. Sometimes human discovers this too late. The fancy chocolate turns pale and dusty. The shirt no longer fits the body that carried human through several hard years. The candle still exists, but the scent has faded. The special thing waited so long that it missed its own moment. This is one of the quiet tragedies of human life. Not dramatic enough for a movie, not loud enough for a warning label. Just a drawer full of things that were too precious to enjoy until they were no longer enjoyable. But the behavior is not foolish. It is tender. Human knows life can be ordinary, tiring, and unpredictable. So when human finds something beautiful, human wants to protect it. Human wants to place it outside the reach of errands, bad moods, weather, bills, and the general friction of existence. Human is trying to defend joy from being consumed too quickly. The mistake is not valuing the object. The mistake is forgetting that joy does not become more real by being postponed forever. A candle is not wasted when it burns during an ordinary evening. It changes the ordinary evening. A good shirt is not wasted at the grocery store. It changes the way human moves through the cereal aisle. The expensive soap is not wasted on a normal shower. It tells the body, for 3 minutes, that it is not merely a maintenance project. Humans often believe special occasions create permission, but sometimes permission creates the special occasion. The act of using the thing changes the day. Not completely. The inbox still exists. The sink still contains one spoon that nobody can explain. The world does not transform into a luxury hotel because human opened the good soap. But the day becomes slightly marked, a little less automatic, a little more chosen. And that may be enough. Because most human life does not happen during grand events. It happens in the plain middle. The Tuesday night, the quiet morning, the meal eaten from a bowl while standing near the counter, the drive home, the shower after a long day, the half hour before sleep when human stares at a phone, despite knowing this will not improve anything. If beauty is reserved only for rare occasions, then beauty becomes rare. But if human lets small, beautiful things enter ordinary life, something strange happens. The ordinary life becomes more livable. This does not mean humans should use everything immediately. Anticipation is also a pleasure, and saving something can make it feel meaningful. A birthday cake should probably not be eaten alone in a parking lot 3 weeks early, unless the situation has become emotionally complex. But there is a difference between saving and postponing indefinitely. Saving has a destination. Postponing has a fog. The question is not, is this special enough? The better question is, what am I waiting for? If the answer is a real event, then the object has a purpose. But if the answer is a vague future where human is richer, calmer, happier, more organized, more impressive, and somehow less behind on laundry, then perhaps the object has been taken hostage by an imaginary person. And perhaps it is time to negotiate its release. Light the candle, wear the shirt, open the soap, use the notebook badly. Let the first page be imperfect. Let the good mug enter the rotation. Let the fancy plate hold toast. Because the human who bought the thing was not wrong. Human wanted a better moment. Human just may not have realized the moment was allowed to be this one. In the end, human saves things for special occasions because human is afraid of wasting beauty. But sometimes, the greater waste is keeping beauty sealed away while life quietly passes beside it. The special occasion may not arrive with music. It may not bring guests. It may not require a reservation, a clean house, or a version of human who finally has everything together. Sometimes, the special occasion is simply this: human is alive. The candle is there, and the match still works.